In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can cut your practice time in half by using a simple tool. And if you watch until the end, I'm going to share with you a surprise video or tool that you can use going forward. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to cut, again, your practice time in half. And the tool that I'm going to talk about is not just about the tool itself, but also how to use the tool. It is a tool called the metronome. Now, some of you may have heard of the name metronome. You may have an idea of what it is. Some of you may be like, what is a metronome? So a metronome is a tool that you can use to keep time with your practicing. The reason why it's important to understand metronome and timing is because sometimes when we're practicing something, we may not realize that we're actually practicing a particular song or a particular work too quickly, too soon, and then we're wondering why we're not catching on or why it's not working for you. And it seems like no matter how many times you practice something, not only does it not get better, but in some cases it actually gets worse, which then adds on more practice time. So sometimes using a metronome to help curb that would actually help. So I'm going to show you guys what a metronome is. And if you go on your phone or your app, I may have to turn this off so you guys can see a little bit better. So I have my iPhone here. If you go in the App Store, whether you have an Android or an iPhone, if you go into the App Store and you type in the word metronome, there should be a ton of free apps that you can use to download for free. So the one that I have here, it looks just like this. So it says Pro Metronome. Let me see if I can make this a little bit darker so you can see what this looks like here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use my iPad. My iPad is a bigger screen, and you're able to see a little bit more clearly what a metronome is and how to operate the metronome. And I'm going to show you in the second half of the video how to use it during your practice time. So this is what my metronome looks like. And you'll see here that there's a number. This number determines what is called a tempo. And so a tempo in music is basically measured by beats per minute. So there are a few ways to operate a metronome. So in this case, if you have this particular app, there are a few ways to change the tempo. I can tap this number and I can type in a particular number that I want. So if I want the metronome to beat at 60 beats per minute, I would just type in 60 and press set and press the play button. And here's how it sounds. Now what I could also do is if I want to change to go faster, I can turn this dial clockwise and you'll see how the number at the top changes. And as I turn it, the tempo goes faster. Right? So as the number goes up, the faster the tempo. If I want to slow down, I go counterclockwise. And you'll hear how it's going slower. And the reason why it's important to use a metronome is because it helps you slow down or not speed up too soon. So now that you know how to use the metronome, I'm going to show you how to use the metronome when it comes to practice. Before I get into that, I do want to share with you there is a free Piano in 3 Steps video that I have available. For complete beginners, it goes over the very beginning in terms of naming the keys and also how to deal with chords for complete beginners. The link to sign up for that is in the description box. Make sure that you sign up for that before you leave this video. So I mentioned earlier about how when you're practicing, sometimes you end up practicing a song too quickly. We tend to rush through it because we think that rushing through it is what's going to help us learn it, when in actuality, it's slowing down. So if you're working on a piece, let's say if you're working on a scale, let's say if we're working on a C major scale. Now, just for the sake of this video, I will show you how to play it with the right hand. So the right hand is going to start with its thumb on C, and then the 2 finger, and C is the white key to the left of the 2 black keys. So here's C, it goes C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, right? And then C, here it goes, continues on. So our thumb's going to start with C. Our 2 finger will play D, the index finger. The middle finger is going to play E, And then after the middle finger, our thumb is going to come under our third finger or our middle finger to play the next key, which is F. And then we reposition. So thumb, index, middle, thumb. You release, reposition. Now your index finger will play G. The middle finger will play A. The ring finger will play B. And then the pinky will end the scale with C. So it goes 1, 2, 3. This is the finger numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes thumb under, reposition. So thumb now will be on F, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's say that you want to practice this after the video is over. You want to practice it a few times without the metronome. And then what you want to do, once you've gotten comfortable with playing it without the metronome, what you want to do is you want to bring in the metronome. Let's say I may start at 50 beats per minute. It's important to start at a speed that is comfortable for you to play all the way through without stopping, even if it's a painfully slow speed. So let's say I may start at 50 beats per minute here, right? And let's say that's a comfortable speed I can play without stopping. 1 note per beat. And I may do it a few more times just to get comfortable. And I may do it 2 or 3 more times. And then once I've gotten comfortable at, say, if I'm at 50 beats per minute, I may increase the speed to about 60 beats per minute and do the exact same thing where I run through it 5 or 6 times. And I may do it again. And then once I've done it at 60 beats per minute about 4 or 5 times, then I may increase the speed to about 70. And I may have a goal of a tempo that I want to reach, right? This is the same exact process that you would use if you were working on a full song. If you're working on a full song, what you may want to do is break the song up into segments. So you may not work on the whole thing. You may work on one small part that you can pretty much work on without feeling overwhelmed. And then just slow that part all the way down with the metronome and do the exact same process. Start at a slow speed where you can play all the way through without fumbling or without making any mistakes. And then just practice at that speed a few times and then just bring that part slowly up to the tempo that you want using what is called the isolation method, which is the method I just showed you. Where you start at a slow speed, run through it a few times, slightly increase the speed, run through it a few times, slightly increase the speed, so on and so forth. And in doing so, what happens is you're giving your brain a chance to actually process what you're working on. And when you do that, now you have it locked in and you'll be able to learn that piece a lot quicker than if you were to just kind of just, blow through it and you're not really grasping anything, you're not really retaining anything. So that is why using the metronome to slow things down and then speed up is going to help you cut your practice time down versus the original way that you may have been doing it. I did mention that I was going to provide you guys with another really cool video that's going to help you along the same lines. It's a video where I go over 3 ways to stay consistent with piano practice. I know a lot of us have busy schedules as adults, so sometimes staying consistent with piano practice can be a challenge. So I have a video at the top right corner that will show you how you can easily add piano practice into your schedule no matter how busy you are. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, please subscribe, turn on notifications. That way, whenever you see a video that gets released every week or so, you will get notified. And if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comment section. I will be sure to answer them. So thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.